Good morning. So today is Thursday, June the 24th, and I just want to do a video about this full moon that's happening this evening. In the UK time, it's 7:37 p.m. and it's a full moon in Capricorn. So as we know, full moons and new moons are really times each month of note. It's something that if we're not paying attention to anything else, full moons are a really good way of just keeping in check with the lunar cycle. And what I love about the moon cycle is it's a really easy thing to connect to. So we only have to look out the window, and if we can see the moon, we can tell really how far we are into the cycle, judging on the shape. So if you look up at the moon this evening, what you should see is a huge, big ball of bright lunar light. Yes, we know the moon doesn't actually have any of its own light, it's reflecting the sun, but there's something about the energy, there's something about the sky being lit up. And this would have been so important for our ancestors. They would have been being able to do so much more work, they could have travelled, they could have done much more. There is a sense of being more extroverted, more out there in the world when we have got that full moon. Now, how we feel around a full moon is very much dependent on really what was going on when we set the intention for the new moon. So as we know, each moon cycle lasts 4 weeks. Yes, I suddenly thought, am I talking sense here? So if we think about, we had the new moon in Gemini, which was 2 weeks ago, and we set intentions. Gemini is connected to the mind, it's connected to communication, it's connected to information. Sorry, I just got distracted. I thought I could hear one of my children coming up the stairs. So the new moon is a time to set intentions, to think about what it is that we want to have more of in our lives. What do we want to change? What behaviours do we want to let go of? And what tends to happen is that we have these 2 weeks where the energy, the moon energy, is growing and growing and growing. So if you've had 2 weeks where you've really been trying to hold it together, pushing down thoughts, feeling, words, what tends to happen as a full moon, it can kind of spill out. Thus we get, like any horror movie, anytime anyone's about to come to a grisling death, or they always flash up a full moon, la, 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 it's all like doom and fear when it comes to the energy of a full moon. And it's nothing that we have to fear or nothing that we have to worry about. What will happen if you've been pushing things down for the last 2 weeks is sometimes they come up for air. So if you find that your behavior is more erratic, if you're feeling that you're unstable in some ways, those feelings have always been there. It's just on some level you've been pushing them down. So actually, there's a reason why the full moons are really cleansing. They're a really good time for releasing. It's a really good time for letting go of what isn't healthy or positive to be holding in your body. So if you can proactively allow any emotions to flow, to create space and time to release, it's going to be much easier than trying to kind of keep a grip on it in many ways. So we know that new moon and full moons are very connected, but this full moon is also very much connected to what happened 6 months ago. So let me just explain why that is. So 6 months ago, which is in January 2021, we had a new moon in Capricorn. And now 6 months later, we have a full moon in Capricorn. So even though this moon cycle is very much connected to 2 weeks ago when we started a new moon cycle, it's also really connected to what was going on for you in January 2021. What were you seeding? What were your intentions? And often this can be done on a very unconscious level. Sometimes a moon cycle can pass you by and it's like, oh my goodness, I didn't even pay attention to when a new moon was. But we're constantly sowing seeds. We're sending our intentions out there, whether we're aware of it or not. So really what we're seeing now, what's being illuminated in our life, is very much a product of what was going on in January of this year. So it's just worthwhile just to know that they're connected. And what I love about astrology is nothing is set in stone. This is a chance to have additional light in our life, to have illumination of what's going on. What do I want to leave behind? What do I want to take forward? We also had the summer solstice on the 21st of June, so that was a few days ago. That's a big turning of the wheel. We're midpoint in the year. We've had 6 months, we've got another 6 months, of the year left. So what is it that you want to take forward into your next 6 months, and what is it that you want to leave behind? Now, Capricorn energy is it's an earth energy and it's a cardinal energy. So cardinal signs always want to be proactive, moving forward. They don't like it when nothing's going on. And Earth is about practical, realistic. It's the tangible form of nature. And Capricorn is represented. Sorry, I just suddenly thought, is my video off? Capricorn is represented by the sea goat. And sea goats have a reputation for tenacity, for perseverance, for climbing up the mountain. And that's very Capricorn energy. It's very stoic. It's very achieving the goals. There isn't necessarily a rush. It's a kind of a slow and steady transverse up, overcoming obstacles, opening doors that may have been seen closed in some way. So in many ways, you have the ability to tap into a strength, a stamina, and also Capricorn is very much connected to long-term goals. So this is a really ripe time to use this additional lunar light to shine a light on your life. Let's assess where you are. Capricorn, very connected to work, career, what you want to be respected for, what you want to be recognized for. So, you know, what goals do you want to set in place? What goals do you want to leave behind? And just know that we all have Capricorn in our chart. So there's an area of your life that's being illuminated. There's an area of your life that is requiring fortification in some way. But really trust the process. This full moon is also connected to the Pisces energy. Pisces is about the intangible world. It's about the dream state. So really pay attention to any daydreams you have today. Pay attention to dreams, because there's a magic that Pisces can bring, which can open up the Saturnian, that Capricorn energy of this is where I want to go to. Just allow the magic of life to come into. So I'm wishing you an amazing full moon. It is quite intense, the astrology at this time, but it's a really important opportunity to pace yourself. This really isn't a sprint. This is like think of that sea goat climbing up the mountain. He's not trying to run up that mountain. In fact, he'd be exhausted and collapse. This is a gentle focus, stamina, perseverance. And know that is the energy that's going to sustain us as we turn the wheel, as we move into the next 6 months of the year, and as we very much are halfway of this moon cycle. So I hope that makes sense. And, you know, I always love to hear people's moon stories. So if you have any thoughts regarding how this full moon in Capricorn is impacting you, what you want to leave behind, what you want to take forward, I always love to hear what you have to say. Take care. Have a lovely day.